She fluent in that cash talk. Walk in the booth like Naomi on the catwalk. And tell them bitches whoop whoop from the Jaguar. It ain't even right though. Push me and I might go. She ain't getting money. I'm like, what the fuck the hype for? When them bitches bite flow, make my appetite go. Poof, gone, voila, magic. Looking mad good just to pull up on them rampant.
Welcome back to Unhinged and Immoral. It's our first recorded episode of 2025.
It is. Feels kind of strange. We're in a whole new millennium. I don't know.
Girl, I don't know. I'm fighting for my fucking life right now, so.
Yeah, same. I feel like as soon as the year started, it was like boom, 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 boom. Do things, do this, do that, do that, do this, do that.
If anyone cares, I don't know if you guys usually pay attention to my mic, but I got the, can you see? Because you can, if you look into I got the thing.
Good God.
It's not Jimmy rigged no more. This is
no longer nigger rigged.
I was going to say, it's not anything y'all would know, but please just know that I am a Black woman in tech, and I had fixed my microphone. Jamila, why are you looking at the camera like that?
I needed you to see my face. Now we can get back.
Because I don't know. And mind you, Jamila didn't send the microphones with any instructions. Sorry. I'm just trying to get it right up on my mouth because you know how I move when I talk. So everyone's always like, Mecca, talking to the mic. I've been doing better at it though, which is exciting. Mm-hmm. This is getting easier and easier every week. We have less and less technical difficulties. So that is a plus.
Honestly, we didn't have any technical difficulties this morning. We were just a little late.
We were. Again, I was outside last night. It was a lot going on, child. I still have a throbbing. But we're gonna thug it out.
Coochie?
Well, that too. But obviously that. What are we talking about? Coochie stays throbbing. What are we saying? Anyway, headache, pulsing headache. But I did pop to that. And that was why I ran off live. But I was like, okay, you guys, I got to go get this done. Because they came and picked up my bucket this morning. That's why I wasn't on live. I mean, Jamila knows this, but y'all don't know this. If you tap into our lives before the podcast, which usually Jamila and I doing our makeup together, I'm not wearing any makeup today because I had to get my bucket towed because one of my neighbors called the city of Houston, being very petty. And put a little citation on my car, even though it's been sitting there I think a month and a half. It's been sitting there a while. It's fair. The only reason it pissed me off, though, is because I live in a predominantly Black neighborhood. I would say it's Hispanics over here, too. The one thing I love about ethnic people is that we don't use, we use the garage as another room. You know what I'm saying? It's like another living room. So everyone, has their garages set up. And we'll be sitting out there, when the weather allows us to. So, and all the nice cars, I've peeped this in my neighborhood, all the nice cars get parked in the driveway, not in the garage, because that's a room.
Yeah.
And then all the regular cars, everyone parks on the street. So my car wasn't even out of place. I could see if it was no cars on the street, but it wasn't even out of place. So that's why I was like, oh, y'all are being petty. I think it's my across the street neighbor because the way that they park, they can't park their car because then, do you get what I'm saying? The cars couldn't go, driving through, couldn't go in the middle. So anyway, all I did was I took my regular car that I can move every single day. Shout out to the city of Houston for letting me know I need to do that. And I parked it in that same spot because I'm petty.
Fuck the driveway.
Fuck the driveway. And who's going to check me? No one. So checkmate, your move. Anyway, how's your week, Jamila? That's been my last 24 hours.
My week has been kind of all over the place because I'm still trying to get myself together. Bringing in the new year, this year was a lot different because, of course, y'all probably know by now, my grandmother did pass away. It's crazy because we mentioned it I don't think it made it to the podcast. I think Melisa ended up cutting it, but I mentioned kind of how my grandmother wasn't doing too well in the New Year's episode. And so literally a week or two later, she ended up passing. So I was in Mobile for her funeral. And then we were there until the new year. So we kind of were there. And because all of that kind of happened, I really didn't have time to get my house in order for the new year. And I'm really big on trying to get that together. So I feel like I'm behind right now. I'm trying to catch up just mentally to the new year. I know we're there, but I'll let you know when I'm actually there. I'm still in 2024.
No, actually. I feel that.
So I'm trying to get the house in order. And on top of that, also having to actually do work because I'm, the production manager of a whole ass production right now.
Yep.
So having to get back in the swing of things with that, it's just been a lot going on. So I'm just literally trying to keep my head on straight and not lose my mind. And then on top of that, I'm going to be in New York next week for the same production. I'm literally like, oh shit. So I'm trying to hurry up and like
Houston
get the house
has
clean,
Beyonce.
do the
New York
laundry.
has Alicia Keys.
It's true.
They were
New York
upset.
I love New York though. Like,
yeah, and Little Mama. They said, why didn't they say that one?
Oh, love Little Mama
and Aquafina. She's from New York as well.
Fuck her. Fuck.
I don't know. Winston Churchill's mom is also from New York.
Remember I said Mecca always has random fun facts. Like,
can I get into it right quick? So what I did not know, I fell down this rabbit hole, is that during like the 18th, 19th century, the aristocrats in Europe and in England were losing their money. Like they just had the titles, they didn't have no money. But Americans had new money. So they were sending all the boys, they were coming over here and getting American socialites from rich families. And that's how we got Winston Churchill. Like there's a whole branch of like Churchill family in New York still.
Wow.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Fun indeed. Fun indeed. I really feel like we kind of touched on it a little bit in our New Year's episode, but I honestly feel like this year is going to be so succulent and so juicy and so
much is going on.
Well, damn, I just remembered Trump is going to get inaugurated. Fuck! Just pissed me off all over again. Every time I remember that shit, I'll be like, God damn, like, fuck, as good as this year gonna be, that's gonna be some bullshit, but I'm not even gonna hold you. I heard that nigga was trying to save TikTok. Get to work, bitch. He need to get that good comb over and get to work. Stop fucking playing with me.
I have mentally checked out of TikTok. I feel like that's why the events of like the whole Beyonce conversation and Han and Davin and everybody else and everyone's fighting.
Suckled on the teat of your oppressor.
She's starting a line. She's sending.
I saw.
Yeah, it has the acronym is really good though. It's like Black women empowerment, suckled sisters. It's great. I love it. I really do. I think it's hilarious. I also
thing about me, I always say, lean into the mess.
Yeah.
Stop trying to retreat.
I'm going to be honest. It does feel good to not be the topic of conversation.
Absolutely.
Honestly, we ruled December. Like 3 weeks in a row, we were the TikTok topic of the week for different reasons. For literally different reasons, 3 weeks in a row. And it was like, okay, somebody else.
And now I get a break. Thank God.
I don't mind. I love when people are talking about me, but I did need a break.
We needed a break. No, it was because it was a lot. It was a lot. And it was just like, okay, like I'm over these topics. Like once you be over it, it's just like, I don't even care. Like, why do y'all? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been entertained by this conversation because I what's funny is like there are points that are fair on both sides of the conversation.
Absolutely.
But there are also some absolutely stupid points on both sides of the conversation too.
So if you're not on TikTok or under a rock in general, Beyonce has dropped Cowboy Carter, which has white people are in a frenzy, Black people are in a frenzy, biracials are in a frenzy. Really sparked a conversation about race in America, what it means to be an American, who is real American, and are we allowed to be proud of being Americans, Black, white, brown, Puerto Rican, or Haitian. So that
shout out to the Cheetah Girls.
I think that's Tribe Called Quest, bitch.
They said that on the Cheetah Girls. You don't remember when the two boys was
yeah, but because they were rapping the Tribe Called Quest. That's their song. I'm pretty sure that is an old school hip hop song.
You see where I get my references
it's Cheetah Girls, girl. But that's a fair reference. Referencing Cheetah Girls is fair as fuck, honestly.
Always.
So creator Han, her name's Hannah, is biracial. People were saying she's white passing. I think she looks biracial, like literally like, oh, that's a mixed girl. But she is a leftist, and I followed her for years. She really makes like political content. Like that's really her shit. And I want to hold that point. I'm saying that for a purpose that like that's really her niche. She doesn't get in no mess. Her content is strictly politics. and leftist politics at that. She basically said Black patriotism makes her uncomfortable. Beyonce being a billionaire.
It stemmed from Beyonce's performance
on Christmas.
Yeah.
Which I was there, by the way. I was part of the My House section, if anyone cares. I have my little Beyonce bowl bracelet, and I will be putting it in like a shadow box frame. That's my plan. Anyway, that's a sidebar.
Me being jealous.
It was amazing. The fact that she was close enough for me to scream, Beyonce! And she would have heard it. Like, if it hadn't been so loud, was like, she is beautiful in person. Like, not that you don't know she's beautiful, but like seeing her up close like that, it was like,
I can't wait because I'll be that close for whenever that tour drops. Thank you.
Yeah, no. And if you didn't like Cowboy Carter, fuck you and don't buy tickets. Like, that's for me.
And I mean, don't even think about
literally,
it,
I'm serious.
Fuck.
I already have my full, I do costume to the concert, so I already know what I'm wearing. It's definitely Dolly Parton inspired.
And I'm going to make my costume like I did
like I always do. And the wig. Absolutely.
Hello?
I will. That's the one time I'll have some long ass hair on my head again.
Clock it.
But anyway, obviously Black people reacted to this, specifically Han saying that Black patriotism makes her uncomfortable. I got what she was saying.
You got to say her phrase because this is what really causes her. She said that she feels like Beyonce was spreading propaganda. Specifically centered around patriotism and nationalism because of the performance.
Yes.
And where she was performing at the NRG Stadium and da-da-da-da-da. And that sparked the whole...
That is what I was going to say. There was the propaganda piece. I felt like, honestly, when she said Black patriotism makes her uncomfortable, I feel like a lot of people got what she meant by that. And it wasn't until the propaganda piece that they threw the two together and said, all right, like, let's rev this shit up. Because, I mean, again, I'm familiar with her content, so I absolutely understood what she meant by that. I did not agree, and I made my videos saying why I didn't agree. But, much like TikTok does, they take it completely left. And so a lot of people were making a lot of think pieces. Now we're getting into the monoracial Black people who versus biracials.
Which is always one of my favorite arguments because I always think the conversation is so goddamn stupid. And I always just love to laugh at both sides sounding absolutely ridiculous. It's crazy because I was on live yesterday talking about, because somebody asked me like what I think about the whole one drop rule and how do I think about, like, what do I think about biracials? And I said, the funniest part about this conversation is this is like the most Black ass conversation we'll ever have because white people don't talk about this shit, number one. But number two, I said something
they do.
that I think
they have their version of it, but
to be fair, I don't know what goes on in white households. I just made that up.
I was in a Girl Scout troop. They absolutely have their version. It's the blonde, the brunette.
Oh wow. Oh no, but I meant specifically about biracials.
Oh no. They see all biracials as not white, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why I was like, oh, white people.
I know they have their own version.
No,
sure. But as far as like biracials, they don't give a fuck. Y'all are niggas.
Yeah, I was going to say they don't. Seeing that take from, what is this, monoracial Black people, and Californian. And California niggas love making a biracial baby. The white people do not see those ladies, as white as they may look to you, they don't see them as white.
They can spot a nigga.
They don't give a fuck, and that's the one thing. That's why I was saying, as someone who is biracial passing, some would say,
please,
biracial passing. When I put the right wig on and beige brigade, fluorescent beige. Just having just been in certain conversations, it's like there are fair points on both sides. Telling biracial people to shut the fuck up and never speak on anything Black is crazy. I just. But
it's also funny.
It's funny. It's fun. I'm sorry. When Davin said, "If you suckle the teat of your oppressor, shut the fuck up." If you think I've said that to Sabrina 1,700 times this weekend alone, crying. Like any
it's
person
funny,
with
like,
a white mom,
I don't know.
I'm saying that to. It's hilarious.
Yeah. And what I said on live last night was the reason that these conversations last so long is because I hate to say it, but I need y'all to hear me, and I mean this with love and respect. Our biracial cousins, y'all are sensitive as fuck. And y'all be low-key weak. If somebody sat up here and tried to debate me on who I am, bitch, I'm not making 20 videos trying to rebuke that. So then, like, because you try so hard to rebuke it and prove it and shit like that, it creates a longer conversation.
I feel like
and that's
fair.
why we always say, like, that's why we can tell y'all have white mamas versus black mamas. Not because it's this whole deep ass conversation. Because if you had a black mama, that black mama would be like, bitch, you're black, and that's the end of the conversation. Stop coming with this. Right. A white mama's gonna be like, let's talk about your identity and how it's complex and your dad and your mom, and it's too mixed, and we gotta get up. And it's like, babes, I don't give a goddamn, to be honest with you. Like, it's just not that deep. And sometimes y'all really just gotta like. What's
insane is I literally made a video saying this exact thing because someone was in my comments like, "Your people think you're biracial." I said, "Bitch, I'm not," and that's why it's funny. You can yell until you're blue in the face about my skin tone. Both my parents are literally darker than me, so it's funny.
Don't care.
I was gonna say your parents are literally dark skinned. Like, we understand the Punnett square. It's funny. You guys are crazy.
It's funny. It's funny, and it's just like y'all have to stop feeding into these conversations. Because that's how I know that some of y'all do have internalized identity issues, because somebody trying to dispute who you are would not affect you, because somebody looking at me and saying, but you look mixed, you look this, okay.
But I'm not, so.
Next conversation. You know what I'm saying? And I also said this, I don't really, this is me being ignorant. Because I feel like as a black person, I'm going to always keep a little bit of ignorant in me. I think not even this conversation. This is Mecca. I'm just gonna always be a little ignorant. I just feel like, to be honest with you, these conversations started getting real wicked when we started using the term biracial. Back in my day, it was mixed.
Well, and they started using biracial, I think, to account for everyone, because again, and what's also happening right now with this particular biracial conversation, it's being only white and black, but you can be biracial and be like Mexican and from Pakistan. I don't know.
Yeah, but them type of mixed folks, I don't know. It didn't even used to be all these mixes back in the day.
What was that old shit? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's how I know I got old Southern black in me. So boomer.
I got so old Southern black in me because, again, back in the early 2000s, it was only really two type of mixes. You had white and black and Asian and black.
And Blasians. And you know what? Someone said this on Twitter. That's why y'all hate Blasians, because they don't mind being biracial. Because
they love it.
They love it. I'm both black and Asian. And when you think about it, I respect it. I respect it.
I do too. It's just like, facts. You are Blasian baddie.
We're going to take a break.
And we're back.
But let's get into Davin's half. Davin has been receiving a lot of backlash because I've said this on TikTok. I didn't even know this conversation was happening till 3 days out. I left the Beyonce performance on Cloud 9 and was blissfully unaware for 72 hours.
Bruh, I did not know it was going to even cause that. Like, after I watched the Beyonce Bowl, I was like, yes, I love her. A day later, I saw Han's video. And as you said, Han or Han, I don't know. She does make a lot of political content. So I've seen like several of her videos. And when it comes to leftist ideology, I would consider myself to be a leftist, actually.
Really?
Contrary to popular belief. I really would. Okay. I have very extreme leftist beliefs when it comes to politics. I just am what I would like to call a realistic leftist.
That's fair.
I know that certain things are not going to happen, so I don't strain my neck trying to be upset about them.
Other leftists have been on Shaheem's neck for that, for being really realistic.
I have to be honest with myself, and that's why I feel like I can actually look at certain things happen, because I also used to be very much like super strong-willed in my leftist conversations. Like, I used to really try to I was just like that at some point.
Okay.
And that's why I be thinking sometimes, and I'm not saying this is about a hand specifically, but just in general, sometimes when I see leftists get on here being very vocal and very strong-willed about certain random small topics, I think to myself, oh, I think you're a new leftist. Because that's how I acted when I was a new leftist. Now, at present day, I'm more so the sit back and allow conversations to happen so I can just be well-versed, and I want to watch how things evolve, and I want to learn more and really develop my own personal politics versus trying to convince the world that systemic racism is a thing. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a different level. So when I saw her video, I was like, I mean, I guess. Don't agree.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the other thing.
Whatever.
Beyonce is another creator said this specifically. I made the video saying, trying to critique Beyonce to Black people is like trying to critique Barack Obama to older Black people. Even if you have points, a lot of people are not even going to try and hear it. They don't want to hear it, you know? So already that was going to have a certain level of backlash. It's kind of like how the Barbs are with Nicki. That it's like I'm surprised, but I'm also not surprised at how this conversation went. I know specifically I made a video saying, you know, I considered this an academic conversation, like, because she was talking from a standpoint of like politics and whatnot. This was not giving Wendy Williams at all. And that's not her content. And like, someone was like, why has it got to be academics when a biracial person talking? I was like, well, no. If you watch that girl's content,
it's just
I was going to say, if you watch that girl's content, that is her content. Her content is literally politically driven. It's citing like facts. Like she does be coming with a lot of facts. So and that's how she positioned the topic to begin with. It was never to throw mud on Beyonce. I think she started the video saying she liked Beyonce. So it was like, y'all are trying to give love and hip hop, and that's why this is unserious.
Yeah.
That's why
and it was funny because it was like, as I was watching, I was like, oh, I knew exactly what that was when I watched her video. I was like, this is somebody who is not well versed in Southern culture. And I didn't, but I also didn't take it personally. Like I saw some response videos, people like, you don't care about the Southern Black pride, you biracial bitch. And I was like, well,
the South got something to say.
I was like, I didn't get the whole personal, like, I didn't think that it was offensive to Black Southerners. As a Black Southerner, now again, you can take offense to what you take offense to, but I was just kind of like, I mean,
is a very,
I just don't think she
niche genre of Black Southerner though. That's the other thing. It's not just like Black Southerner, like, and I mean, I said this in all my videos being here in Houston, and you know,
it's very Southeast Texas, which is why I made my follow-up video.
Yeah, like, and in the past 2 years. Being on the horses, you know, picking up that as a hobby, going to the trail rides, going to these, they're the Californian version of the side shows with the car shows, but it also be hella horses there. Like, why is there cars? And it just, any means to get around, bring them. This is a very niche part of Black Southern culture that I think Beyonce put a huge spotlight on. And so the people who are coming from that are, you know, extremely proud. So I think already not being recognized, and then now you are being recognized and you're up, you know, for hella critique. It's like, okay, well, shut the fuck up. So I
also want to say this one point, because I feel like this point never gets kind of talked about, and it's always like kind of frustrating for me. So whenever we have the conversation of artists being shallow in their politics, I'm never really understanding why that is such an issue, only because let's think back to Marvin Gaye making a song, What's Going On. That song was born out of the things that was happening in the outside world. The song is not that revolutionary though. It's a song that he said, listen, I'm an artist.
What the hell?
I'm going to express myself in art form. And I think that that's what all artists do. Their politics may be shallow because at base level, they're just people who are just experiencing life, and they're going to give you the art that they give. Why are y'all expecting Beyonce and Kendrick Lamar to have these in-depth political conversations when they are not political scholars?
I'm literally thinking about
what?
It's wars and all type of bullshit going on. And Marvin Gaye looked around and said, what the hell is going on?
What the fuck is going on?
That is the best. It's like the most undeep thing ever. It's just like basic.
And that's like my whole, even fucking Aretha, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, that's a fucking political song. Is it so deep that we could use this as a way to understand political scholarness? No. And
but
so
it's a
I feel
feminist
like
song. Respect is
right.
And it's been cited. I definitely remember in one of my classes in college, definitely we analyzed Respect as like a feminist.
We absolutely
I was going to say, the scripts did that.
Yeah. But, and so now all of a sudden, I think people are looking, when they see artists tapping into songs that may have a little bit of politicalness undertones to it, they're like, you don't even understand what it's like to be a socialist because you participate in capitalism. So did Aretha. So did Marvin Gaye. So did all James Brown and all of them who participated in this political conversation.
Bitches' asses in the process. He was also whipping bitches' asses the whole goddamn time.
Everything is going to be a very deep nuance.
Yeah.
Since we all love that word, everything is nuanced. So I feel whenever I see this conversation popping up about artists being shallow in their politics, my answer to that is so.
Not everybody needs to swim in the deepest of rivers. I think that's the other thing with TikTok. TikTok makes everyone think they have to be a scholar or that they are a scholar or wants to be a scholar. And that's why I literally, like, I remember when we were on the chopping block, someone said, this girl lady made a video about me basically saying, like, you think light skin, like, he was like, colorism is a curse because a light skinned person can talk whatever and y'all think they know theory. And I commented, it was just like, what was so insane about the video, I said, I'm articulate and well-spoken. It's not my fault y'all think I'm...
Not all light-skinned bitches are dumb. They said,
she
light-skinned
said, shut the fuck up. Light-skinned bitches are dumb. Which a lot are, I'm not going to lie.
I was going to say a lot
of them are. I wouldn't say not this one. But also, even in my own personal content, I always say, like, I would rather y'all recognize me as Wendy Williams than a fucking, I don't know, intellectual. I don't want to be on that realm. Y'all always put me in that realm because I'm articulate and I got common sense. And I think so many people lack that, though. That you start speaking.
And a lot of people don't really, like, I enjoy looking into political things and reading certain, concepts and theories. Just like in my pastime, I enjoy it. I don't particularly like creating content around it because when I first started making my comeback in social media, I made a lot of political content.
You did.
I swiftly stopped doing that because
it was a drag, Jamila.
It was so like, first of all,
it was like, ugh.
The type of audience that it brought me. Horrible. I said, oh yeah, never mind. And I stopped making it. Like, I stopped doing it.
What's insane about that is that that's not even Han's first time being into it on the internet. She's usually into it in her corner of the internet. And you get what I'm saying? So that's why, and then again, like I said, I followed her for like years because I be following political content in a general sense. There are a couple political TikTokers that I keep up with, and she's always been one of them. And like during the when Kamala came in, bro, she was into it with people like all the time. So I just feel like, and that's why for me, it was funny having that context. And I was saying, y'all doing housewives reads on this lady, like...
I was like,
I was like, Han is definitely out of her depth right now. Like I can see this.
I'm just like, girl, just stop while you're ahead.
Because like she's used to people, when she's going back and forth, they're literally yelling about politics at each other and like throwing facts and da-da-da-da-da. And now it's like, people are like, you stupid biracial bitch. And she's like, whoa, what does that have to do with anything?
And then it came across as like, oh my gosh, everybody's being mean to the little biracial girl. And I was like, no, I mean, sure, fair. No, folks were being mean, but at the same time, like, it was two worlds that collided that were never meant to collide.
You follow me? It was like, that's why, and that is literally why.
And that's why it was funny.
That's why it was funny, number one. Again, people, the context of this, again, like, I just can't stress enough. This was not Han's lane. Like, it just simply wasn't.
It wasn't.
And like,
it was literally like,
when I was making my videos and they were like, oh, you guys are coddling her. I'm like, well, I think the people who are mutuals with Han are also familiar with her content and definitely understand that, like, for us, we will talk about political things, but we're also shit talkers. So the shit talking think pieces are like,
we can go toe to toe.
We can go toe to toe with y'all. It was definitely an understanding that this was not that. Like this was not that. And
honestly, being mutuals with everybody involved is the funniest shit ever.
No, and that's why I was making it clear in every single video. Y'all, I'm just gonna stir the pot. At this point, it's funny. I think we all should just laugh at it because it's obviously not going away. We're on day 75 of it. So let's just all laugh. So I was laughing at Dav and shit, but then also I was laughing at I can't think of the creator right now. I want to pull his stuff up.
Christian?
Was it? I believe. Let me confirm if it was Christian
with the beanie.
Yes, with the green beanie or with the red beanie. Yes, Christian. When he was like, apartheid South Africa was spitting. I said, hey, listen, that's what y'all sound like right now, though. Y'all was acting so dense, like you didn't understand colored when Tyler was telling y'all she was colored.
So funny. And that was my whole point yesterday on my live. Like, Black people, we are very contradictory. Yeah. But I think that is funny. I love that though. I truly love that. I said, listen, Black people, what we're going to do is we're going to look at you in your face and be like, you're not Black just because you're annoying. And tomorrow we're going to look at
like the group of people who will literally tell a black person, I'm taking away your black card. Come on, guys. Like listen, let's take this with a grain of salt.
Tomorrow we'll see a bitch who is quite obviously white, but has a little thick ass nose and be like, you got some black in you, baby. That's just how we do. I don't know. And it's funny to me that we're that contradictory and we're hypocrites, and then we'll gaslight you later. Like, no, you're not black because you're annoying. But let you be real. You a cool ass bitch. You be a cool ass white, and we'll say you're nigga.
Listen,
do you know how many people to this day will say that Paul Walk and say nigga?
You know who ain't never been called a rat ass biracial bitch? Mariah Carey.
Halle Berry.
Listen, when they were bringing up Lotto in the passing conversation, they said y'all never talk about Mariah Carey in this, and someone put Mariah Carey's stats and like all of her hip hop and R&B hits and said this is literally why. We don't go.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, you know, I respect us being so like committed to our hypocrisy. I love it.
It's fun.
It's fun. And I too participate. I don't give a damn.
What have you said that's hypocritical, Jamila?
I'm hypocritical about most things. It depends on the day. It depends on what I feel like. Yeah.
Crazy.
You know, because it's just like, I don't know. Like, yeah, it is okay if I do something and it's not okay when you do it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I believe in gender roles? No. Am I finna take out the trash? Also, no, that's a boy's job.
And that's, great point. I am actually I'm like a super, super feminist. Like I said, I have very real leftist ideologies, but at the same time, I do feel like you're a nigga and you're a boy, take out that motherfucking trash.
You're a boy.
Every time I take out the trash, I sigh.
I don't. It really.
Every time my daddy is here, daddy, go take out that trash for me and pull it to the front, actually. Be a boy.
Thank you.
I just love doing shit like that.
Like, I'm sorry. Fun. I'm so sorry. Girls who do boy drugs, my problematic
terrify me.
Why are you popping a perk? Be a lady.
Ooh, like.
Why did you pop it?
You're supposed to be an alcoholic.
Something cute. Like,
what the fuck are you doing?
Cutesy little
sipping on lean,
little
bitch.
Bump. Bitch, what are you doing? A perk?
You know what I'm saying? Like, lean? You're scaring me.
I don't know. I don't like that. Mm-mm.
I don't like it one bit. I don't like when girls are scammers either. Ooh.
That is no, but it has to be like a cute scam. Like back in the day, I really wish checks were still big because being at the department store and writing a bad check, that's a very girly scam.
Now that with the big sunglasses on.
That is a cunt scam. Yes.
Ooh, yes.
Girl.
You making credit cards in the back room, sister? That is real boy energy.
It's not.
Don't do that.
Why are you cooking crack?
Oh!
Be a girl.
Stay away from the stove.
There's so many illegal things you could do that is girly. Like, stop.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. It really disturbs me, actually. Hate when girls
are making drugs, girl. What the fuck? Also,
like what?
Also, when mind you, look at Darrington taking the trash right now. Be a man. He just walked right past.
That's right.
Be a man.
That's what I like to see.
I like also when girls are in gangs, like I know I say blood a lot, but there are some girls who are like really serious about their gang. Like, oh my God, you go really a blood?
There was this girl in my high school who, so I don't know if I should say the gang name and be messy. What the hell I said. Shout out Grimy Gang.
And they're called Grimy Gang?
Let me tell you why it's funny. Because
was it all girls?
No.
Okay.
It was like this. I think they're still like, doing things. I think they're still like being grimy. Gang. But it wasn't like, you know how Bloods and Crips, they're like, they're stamped in mud. Everybody knows the Bloods and the Crips. Yeah. They've been here for a long time. Like it's universal damn near.
Yeah.
When they start talking about Grimy Gang, I'm like, who the fuck is that? It was a new gang. It was like a new club. It was a new boys club on the street.
That's fun.
And I was just always like, I'm not scared of y'all. Like, I don't know. Like, because like knowing the boys who were like in it, I just always used to make fun of them.
The context that you're also from Gwinnett. Like,
hello.
I'm just not playing with y'all like that.
It was so funny because I never took it seriously. Like I just always thought it was funny. And there was this girl who was just always like wanting to be the type of bitch who says like, these my brothers. Oh, you bitch. You're sucking all their dicks.
Did you see Mel's video about about girl sisters? Or was it boy sisters? Boy sisters, something like that. Yes. That shit was so funny. And then Jiggy on Twitter, she had quoted and been like, and as, as someone with brothers, I know you're just being weird, bitch, because be regular. Exactly.
Yeah, and they be wanting to fuck their brothers, but that's a different conversation.
That's how the ones who be about their mamas too, on the flip.
Yeah.
What was the psychiatrist's name? Who? Oh,
Sigmund Freud.
Freud hasn't missed. I think.
Please. Nah, he was actually a sick fuck.
No, he was sick as fuck. That's why he didn't miss, because he knew he was sick.
Because he already
said,
knew what the fuck. I tell you why I know that. I tell you why I know that.
Mama, you looking good, girl.
But yeah, this bitch literally, she like joined the gang and was like telling everybody how she joined the gang and how she got like beat into the gang. But I think she also got a train with her. She got jumped in, and I think she got a train on her like a double time.
And this is no shade, my sister. Why not just join an org? And then you can network for life if you're going to let them jump you in. Baby, what is happening? Do something smart.
We were in high school. And it's funny because like I actually got into it with some of the gang members. This was back in my day with my old Twitter.
Jamila?
I just didn't give a fuck. I've just always been a troll. And just, I don't know, like one day I just decided like, I'm just going to be petty. So I had one on my old Twitter, which is gone. I was on my old Twitter.
Probably for the best.
Absolutely for the best. I tweeted, "You guys swear y'all are hard, but y'all all share the same gun." The way they all came for me was so funny, but it's like, I didn't lie. Y'all do share the same gun.
Did anyone shoot at you?
And they'll just fuck no, this is Twitter. Like them bitch, they literally shared the same gun. If one person had it, like y'all couldn't take it. Like they would like, take the gun, take pictures with it, give it to the next person. So yeah, I was a menace. And then they was like, "Nah, you want some weird? Nah, chill. They really be on that. I don't give a fuck. I live with my parents. I'm
not. I'm
a good girl. I'm not involved in those street things.
This doesn't strike fear in my heart. The one gun doesn't.
Yeah, not at
my
all.
parents also have guns in their house, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's just like
We're fine.
Okay, and obviously like nothing happened to me because
we're gonna take a break.
And we're back.
Did you hear about Joy? What's her name on ESPN?
Joy Taylor.
Joy Taylor. Did you hear about that? How do you
heard
feel?
That she fucked her way to the top. I felt like, go girl. My only thing about fucking your way to the top is because I've always felt like I have no issue with people fucking their way to the top. This is when I have an issue, is when I see the people that you had to fuck to get to the top. It's like, oh, they're ugly. I can't get with that sister. If I had to fuck my way to the top.
Jamila, you're not really about it if you're not willing to fuck someone ugly.
I'm only willing to fuck my way to the top if they're cute. It's like, for example, if I had to fuck Michael Ealy to become like the best actress in the world, I'm doing that because I was going to do that anyway.
He's too good of an actor because people still are mad at him for throwing them babies out the window.
And I'm not mad.
Okay. We'll talk about that later.
But yeah, when bitches be having to fuck for fuck to get to the top, like I really support that because like you're really dedicated for fucking this ugly ass nigga to get.
She was,
get your family out the hood.
Emmanuel Ocho allegedly, and here's the thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it Ocho? It's a Nigerian last name. I know I'm butchering it. He's not ugly, but he's a prick. So
he's annoying.
Yeah.
And
fucking an annoying
smart.
Nigga is just as bad as fucking an ugly nigga.
It's just as bad as fucking an ugly nigga.
Terrible.
Like,
but did you see?
I'm like, I know she be cringing, but she's like, I gotta get this watch.
Did you see that they put they were going back through all his tweets and they were like, she got that thing on her because he was like, he used to tweet about her all the time.
Just being jipper as fuck.
Like,
and I know she was cringing like, nigga,
so this is my thought. I feel it's very similar to you. Like, if she was consensually fucking them people, everyone's of age, right? On the other hand, women in male-dominated spaces, I just hate what this conversation is doing for that frame of thought. It's like fueling it even more because there are so many girls who just simply don't want to fuck y'all to get to the top.
No, for real.
That should also
most don't.
That should also be an option to like get promoted at your job without having to fuck the boss. Like that should also be an option. So I just hate that. And then also, like I said, every tweet regarding Emmanuel Ocho I've laughed at. It's funny. Mm-hmm. Most of the tweets are funny.
And I also, to be honest, I think a lot of men get annoyed when this conversation and so pissy with this conversation because they know that they can't fuck their way to the top the way that women can. So they get upset and they start projecting and now they want to call women sluts and whores, you dirty, disgusting whores. And it's like, think about it.
What if they were really catching a vibe though?
But also, let's think about this a little bit critically, men. are the bitches whores or are the men? Because y'all are the ones gatekeeping the promotions.
They said Skip Bayless only makes $8 million and allegedly offered that lady $1 million to fuck her. A huge chunk of your yearly salary for the cat? Honestly, if that's true, I respect her.
Hell yeah.
I respect her. I'm sorry.
For one piece of Gucci? I don't know, sister. It's a good trade-off.
You have $8 and you're like a huge chunk of your salary is going to this lady for one time. That's amazing.
And it's like, damn, she really like that.
Excellent.
Like,
she has excellent rates.
Hey,
excellent rates.
Good girl.
Jesus Christ.
You go, sister. You'll always be famous.
I mean, yeah, at this point.
That name is going to always ring.
But I'm sad that it has to be like associated with this. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's going to be associated with this frame of thought, but you know.
For sure. Yeah. And the thing is like, whether she did or she didn't, that frame of mind is always, like it was always going to be a thing. Like men are always going to assume that about women. Mm-hmm. So I don't give a fuck if women do it anymore because y'all are going to believe that if it's true or not. Jamila. So go ahead and do it. They're going to think you did anyway, bitch. I don't know.
It's kind of like that movie Double Jeopardy when she was already found guilty of killing her husband, I believe. And she didn't kill him. So then when she got out of jail, she wouldn't actually killed him.
I was like, well.
It's like, well, y'all already thought he did it. So now I might as well do it.
Yeah, like, fuck it.
No, that's fair.
I don't give a damn. And it's just like men don't have the moral high ground to stand on to judge women for the things that they do. Because the shit that y'all do is diabolical. Y'all do criminal shit. Like, I don't know. Y'all are fucking weird.
Isn't it literally
Harvey Weinstein of the bunch?
Men get depressed and then decide to do family suicide. Like,
you know what I'm saying? You lost your job. Now the whole family got to die. Even the dog.
Everyone has to die because you lost your job. Are we being serious?
That's so dramatic. And that's why I could never dare marry and date a white man. I'm not trying to die.
Niggas be doing it too. You saw that boy on Twitter.
They do.
And with the light eyes and the ugly locks.
They sure do. Men are scary as fuck. Men are scary as fuck.
Yeah.
They said, bitch, you're leaving? How about no?
How about no?
What the fuck?
And you know what's also really scary about that? It's like, you never know if you're with that type of man until you just have to fuck around and find out. Like, there do be red flags, but it's like red flags don't always show themselves right away. And then
and sometimes the red flag is, you'll think it's because he's this way, like, oh, maybe this red flag just shows that maybe he's just not shit. Yeah. But it don't give killer, like, you know what I'm saying? It's misleading.
It's very stressful. Yeah. Very stressful. That's why I know sexuality is not a choice.
Yeah, you know that happened to my cousin.
No, I know. I remember.
Like, that was actually some of the craziest shit. That shit still traumatizes me to this day.
It is. I feel like when you even for me when you were posting about it and reading it, because she was in one of your shows, right?
Mm-hmm. She was going to be in the show that I'm currently editing right now. And what's crazy is this, and it's so insane. She was killed on the 5th of May. I seen her on May 1st. That's when we had our table reading.
Yeah. And I remember you posting it. So the same way you were feeling, I was like, oh my God, I just saw her on Jamila's story and stuff. Like, what the fuck?
It was insane. Like, and it's crazy because when all that happened, like, me and my brother, we were like, we never liked him. Like, the first day we met him, he said, I don't like him. Immediately, he just gave us. We're always very in tune with like our energy and what we feel off of vibes from people. And I'm unfortunately, I am never wrong. Now, like, remember how I said those red flags can be weird? Yeah, we didn't get that from him. Like, obviously, I never thought that he would kill her. Yeah, but I knew that I did not like him. He actually gave me like like weirdo vibes, like he's a pervert type shit. That's the vibes he gave me. I was very uncomfortable and just gave me real shifty. It was some evil shit in his eyes, and I never liked him. I never tried to speak to him. I went out of my way to avoid him. And so to hear that happen
for a long time, like since y'all was kids?
She was. Okay. So she was with him for, I want to say like 20 something years. Okay, she was with him for a long time. This was her second husband though. So her children were not with him.
Were not him. I was like, you were kind of speaking like you knew him as a kid, because you.
No, so. That side of my family is from California. Oh, okay. So I didn't actually meet them until we moved to Georgia.
Okay.
because they ended up moving to Georgia too.
Got it.
Her specifically. So I didn't know them. I think I did know them as kids. Like they came to our family reunion, but I was so young, so I didn't really have too much memory.
Yeah.
Right. So I kind of had more memory when we actually moved to Georgia. So yeah, we were gagged that happened, but I said, I'm not, he gotta die. No shade. Like
so he did not,
don't care.
He didn't kill himself.
No. And I really wish he did.
We're going to take a break.
And we're back.
When you were talking about the energy, something like that happened to me. I met a man out in the club when I was living in California. It was a very regular interaction in terms of like, oh, I think you're pretty. Let me get your number. I chatted him up. He seemed cool. All these different things, right? And I talked to him on the phone like a handful of times. I want to say like 3. And it just couldn't figure it out because he kept trying to like obviously take me on a date, and I was just like, something's off, and I couldn't explain what it was. Like, you know, just that feeling. It's like it's not that I think you're a bad person. It's just like something's off. Like you're giving me a weird vibe, and I don't know what it is. I'm not going to jump to conclusions and say anything about you. It's just like I have to back up a little bit. Bitch, please tell me why. Like I think it was like within a month of meeting him and me talking to him on the phone because I had texted him and never linked up with him. He worked at a school like as like a after school aide. He raped a 12-year-old. He was like having a relationship with one of his 6th grade students. Like, and it was all over the news.
6th grade.
It was all over Jamila. 6th grade is like, oh, that's clearly a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, whoa. So like when my mom was watching it on the news and the mugshot popped up, bitch, my heart dropped in my fucking coochie. And obviously my mom has no context of like what's going on. She's like, what's wrong with you? You finna, because you know, like call back the fainting, like having like if any high emotion, like I have physical reactions to. So like I'm known for throwing up. Like that's like if I'm sad, mad, too happy, like I will throw up. Like, you look like you're about to throw up. What did like my mom was just like, what is going on with you? I ended up telling her eventually what it was. Yeah. But like was sitting there and hearing the details. And shout out to that young girl's family because her daddy and uncles found him, came up to the school and jumped him. Good. Before he was arrested.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Good for them. These sick bastards.
No, but I was going to say, always follow your gut, ladies. It's never going to, you don't need to explain it in that moment. Because again, even like what you're saying, even like what I'm saying, years after, weeks after, like you can't explain it. The shit will save your life a lot of the time, you know? Get you in a situation.
Really
I couldn't like, oh my God.
Exactly what it is, but it's something.
If I had even kissed him, I might have killed myself. Jamila. Like, what the fuck? I'm so serious. I know. Like, what, like, bro, you're not for real right now. Maybe that's why the conversation didn't feel right because he was used to talking to a fucking 12-year-old. Like, what the fuck? Exactly, like that exact feeling. Imagine if he had touched me, how I would have felt. Because I felt like that, and I was simply just texting him.
Damn,
horrible. Hate him.
Yeah,
he's going to hell.
Should be wicked. These men are
crazy,
insane. But you definitely got to show your gut instinct because it's like I've had so many different instances where I'm just like, I don't know, like I don't really like this person. I don't have it. I don't know what it is, and it'll reveal itself later. Like, oh, okay.
Don't you love being that friend? When you meet the other people and you're like, don't really vibe with them. Not really my thing. Can't really explain it to you guys, but you guys go off and have fun, and then like weeks, months, maybe years later, they're like, oh, they're actually a horrible rat ass individual, and this is why. Well, I had always felt that way. So
yep, I told you. Sorry, don't care. I told you I don't like her.
Yeah. 0 out of 10.
It's so funny.
Well, I was going to say, you ready to spin it?
We're going to take a break. And we're back.
Well, we spoke too soon when we said no technical difficulties. Which, you know, it works out because I'm constantly looking into this camera because I'll be looking at Jamila. This is my laptop camera. Like I said, my memory card is full or I didn't take, or Melisa said I have to reformat it. even though I've been deleting.
Y'all, Mecca is kind of an old lady.
That's fair.
With technology.
I will say,
so I'm going to get her right, y'all.
Well, it's not my fault. The card is empty. It's just...
And that's why you got to clear before, baby.
No, I did. I always, whenever we drop our clips to Melisa, I delete the clips after I drop them. So that's why she was saying I might need to reformat it because it's already empty. There's nothing on the card.
Yeah.
And it did record the first 11 minutes. So when I'm still going to send that to Melisa. And then when it switches over, maybe it'll be something different. This isn't bad though. I feel like this is feng shui.
Yeah.
You know?
At least and I love that we have backups now.
But yeah.
So it's like.
And you know what's also crazy? I brought another light out here. So the day we did the Jackie video, my light was really low and people were like, Mecca, what the hell is going on? We recorded those on our laptops. But it was like, what the fuck is going on with the light? So maybe go get another light for in here. And it looks really good from what I'm seeing. It was a good move. But anyway, technical difficulties aside, let's get into our favorite segment, Spin It. Full disclosure, Jamila and I are not PR professionals. We just simply were communication girlies in undergrad, and we enjoy the hustle. We enjoy talking about it. And, you know, if you have any salacious, scandalous, messy situations that you would like us to put a PR spin on, send them to @unhingedandimoralpod@gmail.com. So, Jamila, what do we have this week?
Let's get into it. Hey, y'all. Y'all are my faves right now, sending all the love and support for the new pod been tuned in every week. Thank you so much. Here's my situation. Last summer, I started talking to this man, and we'll call him CJ. Me and CJ live about an hour and a half away from each other, and we're keeping in touch and sleeping together every time we're in the same city for about a year. We went to concerts together, and I grew to care for him and his career a lot. I am usually the ghosting type, so this threw me for a complete loop. My friends know me to keep a man or two on standby, and for a year plus, it's been only this man. Bad bitch down. Man. CJ's issue is that he is very attractive and charming, and he knows it. Oof, dangerous. I never tell him these things about him. I never tell him these things about him because my ego won't allow me to make his any bigger. We have similar career goals, and he has better access to it. He grew up in the city, and I grew up in the sticks. He always picked fun at me for this, so much that it started to make me feel like a white person. Like, nigga, we are not black. Are we not both black? This is my first major dummy man relationship situation. Anyways, I peeped something, and I think he has a new lady. We were never ever exclusive, so I can't be super mad, but my ego unfortunately can't let him have one up on me. How do I spin this without posting a man to get my ego back? Trying to keep this real anonymous. What Boston Richie say? Help me. Shout out to Frankie.
Crying. You know, we shout out Frankie every episode damn near. I got to let him know. I don't think he knows. But
please.
Okay, so just so we're all on the same page. She fucking CJ. CJ is, I'm going to assume his dick is really good because you keep fucking him.
And he's clearly fine.
Cool. Y'all not exclusive though, and y'all live an hour away. That's probably why y'all not exclusive, honestly, because of the long distance. Cool. Now, CJ,
you've developed feelings for him because y'all been talking for a year and a half,
which is normal. I don't get why everyone acts like you talk to someone for a long. Like, I care about you, bro. You're not gonna make me feel bad about caring about you. What the fuck?
That's not bad at all.
I'm not a weirdo.
You're not in the wrong for that.
I'm not a psychopath. I have feelings and emotions, and that's okay. Okay, now you have feelings for him, but nothing exclusive. He seems to have chose up, and now you're in your 50s and you want to make a little post about it. Cool.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
So this is the exact situation we can help you spin. I don't think you need to start out with Instagram post though.
No.
Obviously, CJ would have you on IG, right? I kind of want to. She didn't say she hasn't talked to him though, right?
Yeah, I think they're still talking.
Okay,
I think she's just assuming that he has another bitch because he's probably acting weird. We always know if the nigga acting weird, he's the broker got a bitch.
Okay, cool. I was like, you're still talking,
or as I just recently found out, in jail.
You want to talk about it?
No. Maybe next week.
Maybe next week once it's solved. Will you tell them what's going on?
Things are still developing.
Okay.
So tune in next week to figure out what the fuck that's about.
Okay, fair.
Yes.
Sure, still talking to him. Okay, he's fucking other bitch, not in jail. I would say act normal. Act normal like he's acting normal. Do like, I'm not going to hold you guys. Like, gaslighting is foolproof.
It is.
It really is. Mirror his behaviors. Now,
especially if you're good at it.
If you're good at it, and he probably won't care, but he probably won't care in the sense of like, if he's talking to someone else, then that lady definitely has his attention. But he's still in contact with you, which means he's still keeping an eye on you, which means you can still play chess like this. You can still do
get
it.
What you get.
Like if if you're saying, oh, I just don't want to watch it, post a story that's basic. Like, yeah, he's still watching your stories. What I would do is if he's trying to fall off, I'm so good for this. I'm telling myself, text him because you know he's going to text you. You know he's going to respond eventually. Don't respond back. You see what I'm doing here?
Get him in a loop.
Throw him for a loop. Like text him like
going
fishing. You know what I'm saying? Like something like, because usually when you're in those type of situations, I'm thinking back to the situation that I was in like this a couple years ago where I liked the guy and he was clearly pulling back and, you know, no one's in a relationship. We're all single. It's just like obvious what's going on. So at that point I would text him like, oh, and I knew he was still going to respond to me and I just wouldn't respond to him. Or I would take a day or two, or I would just, so it's also like I'm busy as well. Like I'm living as well. After you do that, I like, maybe the first time you do it, if y'all are still in active communication, take like 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like if you text him in lunchtime, don't text him back till the evening or even like right before you go to sleep. And don't make an excuse. Don't do the whole, oh my God, I was so busy. Like literally just have the conversation. Like it just happened 10 minutes ago. And then once you do that, the more you do that, keep elongating the time. That's my playbook. And then you can start posting. Then you can post like, oh, I'm outside with the girls. You get me? So
see, here's the thing. You kind of want to, the same way you're feeling this nigga has a bitch on the side. And it's not that he has his bitch on the side. He's just now talking to other people. Like, that's fair. You want him to start thinking the same thing.
That's the thing.
But the way that men view and women view are different. So what niggas do is they just start acting weird, right? That's not what we do. Like, we're not going to just start being weird to you all of a sudden. We're going to like, you got to play it cool. So for example, if every time you go see him, you spend the night, the next time you go see him, leave as soon as y'all done fucking. Immediately gonna
fuck his head up, girl. That's gonna fuck his head up.
Where you going? I just got a lot. I just got a lot to do.
I can't even.
Got a lot to do.
I can't.
Had a good time though.
Yeah.
Like keep it so player.
I was gonna say
I know it's an hour and a half, but we're setting traps.
Like I'm just thinking of myself when I'm dating, and then when it's like time for me to choose up. Much like men, women do not immediately stop talking to the hoes, if ever. You know what I'm saying? Like if ever. We are very good at keeping men are good at this too, but it's just like you said, it's different. Like keeping everyone at bay. But also I feel like women are better at like, when you're in a woman's presence, it's not going to be a weird vibe. Now, how often are you going to be in my presence? Not as much. And you'll notice it. But when you are here, I'm not going to be weird. That's the thing about men. They will get in your presence and be weird. And it's like,
okay, now I don't want to do this anymore. Like, because I don't like weird energy. Like, stop being so fucking weird. Like, because my thing is, if we're both have committed to being non-exclusive, I am already going to assume you're talking to other bitches. You don't have to start acting weird when you start talking to a new bitch. Just be regular. And if you don't want to talk to me no more, just say that. Stop being weird.
Or just ghost me, like rip the Band-Aid off. Like she said she's pro ghosting. I'm also pro ghosting. I don't like a slow ghost.
Yeah. But also, what do we say every week at this point? Y'all got to stop having one nigga you get too attached and too pressed over them. And then when something go wrong, now you're over here trying to figure out how to strategize to get back at him. If you had multiple niggas, you probably wouldn't have even noticed that he was being weird.
You want to hear a story about me having multiple niggas and not noticing stuff? Well, one was Mexican. But like I was the Mexican man I was talking to owned a restaurant. Well, his mom started a restaurant here. And it's really good restaurant. It's very popular. And like, this was years ago. Like this is when I first moved to Houston. So this is almost 5 years ago at this point. Talking to him, had so many niggas. It was fun. He dropped off the face of the planet. And I did notice, but I had multiple niggas. And my Mexican, but like, so I didn't notice like, And he was a college football player, right? And so he told me when we were talking that his mom had a restaurant and that she had his football jersey hung up in the restaurant and da-da-da-da, right? So fast forward, a year later, Sabrina's telling me about this restaurant that she wants to go try. You know, Texas is known for Tex-Mex, not authentic Mexican food, which is different. And California is straight authentic Mexican food. So it's just like, I want some authentic Mexican food. Sabrina found out about this spot and was like, oh, let's go here. I heard they're really good. So this is right at the end of COVID when we're all still wearing masks. Mind you, Sabrina had just did my hair. I looked cute as fuck. So I walk in there on the mask and I'm looking around. So let me back up. We're in the car. She shows me the Instagram. She's like, here, click in the link in the bio, look at the menu so we can know what we want to eat when we get there. Cool. I'm on the Instagram. I'm like, I'm scrolling and I'm like, I've seen this page before. I said, I've been on this page and I can't remember when I was on the page. So I'm scrolling. I see his jersey hanging in one of the pictures. I'm like, I said, girl, you remember that Mexican boy I was talking to when we first moved out here? I said, this is mama restaurant. Cause I had told, like, obviously in real time, like, and Sabrina and I lived together at that time. So in real time, I'm telling her about it. Like, cool. I keep scrolling. His mama had passed away. The founder of the restaurant had passed away. And I'm looking at the date. And the date is lining up around the time he goes to me. And I wouldn't have known a thing because I had so many niggas. Girl, went in the restaurant. I'm not I'm being dead ass. That's really what happened, Sabrina. Went in the restaurant. Follow me. Went in Sabrina. Jamila. That's really what happened. Went in the restaurant. You're trying to just laugh.
It's just so like, it's always like, it's always so like, man.
So
fuck, RIP to that lady.
I had my mask on. We were making eye contact, and I could tell at first he didn't know who I was, but he could tell he knew me because I had the mask on. So we get seated. I'm keeping the mask on because I'm already like, I don't even want to say nothing to this man because I just realized he ghosted me because his mama passed away. Like I just realized that. You get what I'm saying? So now I'm like,
God, bro.
So Sabrina dumbass sitting there talking about why you still got your mask on. Girl, you making my spot hot. As soon as I take the mask off, he's easy to make eye contact. We ordered some drinks. He personally made our drinks, and he made our drinks strong as shit. I really wanted him to, like, I feel like he did that because he wanted me to say something, and he made them so strong. I was this close.
So you never said anything?
No, and I've seen him a couple times out. I mind you, I have him on Instagram still. I've never stopped following him.
Wow.
We never got each other off or unfollowed each other.
Yeah.
And he has a girlfriend now, but it's just funny because like he's engaged with my content, but like he still was engaging with my content somewhat.
It's just like no beef. It's just like, okay, no, I get it.
When I see him, when we go there, like he'll hold the door open, like. But it's always so funny how like neither one of us has ever acknowledged.
Just never addressed it.
We've never said it.
It'd be like that.
It's like that. It's no need to.
Yeah, there's definitely. I still follow quite a few of my old flings that were just never that deep. Like it never got like it was never no beef for real. I really only unfollow if like you really got on my fucking nerves or like you actually tried me. Like the nigga who brought a bitch to a party that I planned for him.
Who was that? Who even?
You actually met him. That's what's crazy. When you came out here and we went to fucking Rum Punch.
Okay.
The nigga who popped up in the line. I said mind you, at that point, we hadn't even been talking because I got on my nerves previously.
Yes.
But he was being on his best behavior that weekend just to fucking try me a week later.
Yes,
and so
I do remember him.
He had to go. Yeah. He was
Rum Punch was intense. I felt very autistic in Rum Punch. Seriously.
No, Rum Punch.
I
never want to go
church
again.
Yesterday too. Because it was so many people, and then it's the first Sunday, baptism, communions. I go to like
it was a lot.
Huge church here. I go to Wheeler in Houston. It's like it was so many people there. I was like, oh, my tism is acting up.
I actually am cool on never going to Rum Punch again because it's just too much for me. I don't like all of that. Like I'm cool on that. But yeah, he was fine, but he didn't. I mean, that was lame. Like, I actually was so pissed off about that shit. Like, nigga, are you dumb? It was actually so crazy that even his friend pulled him to the side like, nigga, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you're tripping.
You're really like,
this is weird.
Actually, I'll shut it all down. Let's all go home.
Yeah. Yeah. I was so close to ruining everybody's night because I was that annoyed.
I probably would have crashed
But I
out.
just decided, you know what? I'm actually not even going to give you that satisfaction of pissing me off in public. I'm gonna sit on this and cuss you out later. Because I can't. I need a moment. Like, actually,
don't talk to me.
But yeah,
back to the
niggas
spin.
really be trying me. I was
gonna say. So back to the spin. Niggas be trying Jamila.
Yeah.
I love Mexican food, and if you
need more niggas.
I was gonna say, if you have more niggas, you will not notice these things, these crazy things that be happening.
Yeah. Because again, I was only talking to him at that time.
Oh shit! That was a correlation. I was wondering where this was going. I thought we were just having another conversation. I was gonna be like, I'm vibing.
No, there's like we do always have our conversations because it be spawning and make me think of other things. It all
connects. It all connects.
Well, this happen. But it's just like we're telling you this because it's like based off of experience. I can tell you to get more niggas because based off of experience, every time I've really been down bad, it's because I only had one nigga.
Yeah.
Like when Lotto said must be your only nigga, she ate me up with that. You're right, bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You need at least 3 niggas. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's a safe number because you can have your favorite nigga, and then you can have your second favorite nigga, and then you can have the nigga that you don't really give a fuck about.
And then it won't get too confusing. Yeah. You won't start, mixing up names and shit.
I was gonna say
make sure they're all 3 different types. Well, get you one of each type of thing. That way you can really experiment and have fun and feel like you're getting best of all the worlds and feel like, because I feel like if you're dating the same type of nigga, like
Nigerian people at one time was really crazy.
That sounds absolutely chaotic.
It was.
And too much.
I had a good time though.
It's like you're just
talking to a Jamaican in the mix.
The same nigga. Okay. Good luck with that. What the fuck?
Well, I'm still currently.
Oh, well. I guess.
We're going green flag versus green flag.
I don't want none of them niggas. For now.
Anyway. Well, sister, let us know how that goes. Get you some more niggas.
Yes.
Don't text them back quick. And then you start posting and we'll post them and go out with your girls and do some fun shit.
Yes. Always go out with your friends.
But ease into going out with your friends so it doesn't be obvious. Like start at the hookah spot and then maybe next week y'all at the actual club.
That's valid.
We're going to take a break. And we're back.
All right. Let's get into these comments. Alrighty. So make sure you guys are engaging with the content so that we can know that you guys are liking it still. Make sure you guys are liking it, subscribing, following, leaving us comments. And you might be lucky enough to get your comment read out loud live on the podcast. And before I get into reading these, you guys, the Patreon is now live, and we also have dropped. By this time, you should have already seen the exclusive episode dropped on our Patreon with the brothers. If you have not already,
plug the Patreon.
Please go ahead and subscribe to the Patreon. It's only $3, y'all. We keeping it real modest.
$3 American dollars.
$3 American dollars. And I know some people are like, why y'all charge us for this? Listen. I promise you everything is for a reason.
Well, it is Patreon.
We do have to spend money to make money, but we also have to spend money to make sure the podcast is delicious and beautiful and, good quality. So we have to pay our lovely production staff. So you spending your lovely $3 on us is helping us produce more content for you. But you guys will get something out of it. Exclusive episodes, first dibs on merch drop coming soon.
We are planning the merch, and that's really exciting. I will say I'm having fun trying to conceptualize ideas.
Exactly.
I always have to read the comments on my laptop.
You guys will get first access to the live show as well. Tickets for the live show coming soon as well.
Also in the works.
Yes.
So we're doing
yes.
Is it January 6th?
Yeah.
I'm
gonna do the Apple
okay.
ones. All right. New fave, not gonna lie. This is from Chris A.E. I'm relatively new following Mecca and Jamila on TikTok, but this podcast is everything. The banter, the lore, the insight, real friends talking about anything and everything. It's hilarious and feels cozy. Love it here. Peruvita _bliss. Mecca is in my brain. She is all of my intrusive thoughts. Y'all have me responding to y'all like I'm in the convo. Keep going. Love Mecca and Jamila. This is from Christian Simone. I love the both of y'all down. I listen while I'm at work and I always thoroughly entertain. The way you guys bounce off of each other works so well, and I just love how real and genuine you guys are. So excited to see what you guys have coming. Keep it up. A key. Sid Vicious _5. Love the show. The first episode was very nostalgic. We love intellectual, spicy, nuanced takes. Exactly.
So I'm going to read the comments from the Christmas episode. And these are from Spotify. Luna said, "This has been the funniest episode yet. I looked insane on the subway trying to hold in my laugh during Jamila describing her planned funeral." You know what's crazy? I agree that the Christmas episode is the funniest one, and it's the episode with the least amount of views.
Yeah.
And I feel that's crazy because we were so unhinged on that episode.
It was so stupid.
She said, "I did lose it when y'all said bring back dry humping." And I agree. We're losing sacred recipes. Y'all make my commute much more enjoyable. So happy we can do that for you, Luna. Chrissy said, "This podcast, man, it's so real. I listen while I'm at work." Oh, my stomach is growling so hard. Jesus Christ. That was crazy. I'm sorry, Chrissy. "This podcast is so me. It's so real, man. I listen while I'm at work and be walking around and dying. Let me tell y'all something. This was the best decision ever. Keep going. Don't stop. Stay funny, bright, and blessed. My girls for life. From one yapper to the next. Period." And then let me see. Brianna French. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Brianna French said, "I feel like I'm listening to my cousins talk. Y'all two are so funny. I love you guys." And then C said, "This podcast makes me miss college for real. Exact conversations I've had with my college friends. Love Jamila's facial expressions." I've often said, I don't be looking. What I see Jamila's profile. So or her. Is that what you're the side of your face?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get to see her facial expressions until I watch it back as well. And then sometimes when I'm looking down and speaking, I also am not noticing that she's reacting to me. It is very funny. And then Joden says, "I've been waiting for this release. I was bored without y'all." OMG, girl.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into some of these YouTube comments.
These are also from the Christmas episode, I believe.
Okay. This is at Amari Sanchez 5831. "The way I'm screaming at my phone after hearing what Mecca's dad said at the funeral." He ain't right.
He's not. He's so sick.
Just silly. At Yada 333, "Jamila's funeral is something out of my nightmare. Please, this episode has me hollering. Wow, this is just what we do because I'm always telling my cousin and sister to send me straight to the fire because I don't want nobody doing nothing strange to my body. Why are we like this?"
Black people really do be planning our funerals like.
Hey, you gotta have it right.
You do gotta have them plans in order.
At Raven Janice, "Hanging from the ceiling like Paris in spring has me crying actual tears." At Tamika Johnson 1874, "Jamila wants a Mission Impossible funeral." Y'all get me so well. It's just,
Please.
It's so fun. At Kiana Darice.
She be in our TikTok comments a lot too.
Okay, period. Hey, girl. "The way I bust out laughing at Mecca's dad saying he was relieved." I feel like we all have a relative like this for sure.
Fucking crazy. Why would you say that?
At Unofficial J, "Hey, as a dude that works 2 to 11, this podcast is essential, especially since I cut off Charlamagne's pods. Y'all are hilarious and keep a janitor entertained." Oh, yay. We love
first of all, we love the janitors. Thank you for what you do for and keeping the world clean. We need y'all.
Exactly. Glad you like it. At Des Shanae 1, "My aunt passed on Friday. I'm sorry. And I'm still traumatized. So I thought it would be a bit too soon to listen, but this wasn't. Thank you for the needed laughs.
Aw.
Listen,
our
I'm with you, sister.
For real.
Our condolences for sure. But I'm glad we could give you a little bit of, uplifting and a little bit of laughter in that time of grief because, child, it be needed.
Well,
I hate when people die, for sure. I really do. I be sad, child. I be down bad.
Girl,
but yeah.
This is just a little tidbit. The day Jamila's grandma passed, we were at the club, right? And her sister texted me. We're at the address in Houston, and we're turned up because we went and did an interview, and it was so fun, and we were having such a good day. And so when Jazz texted me, mind you, I'm drunk. I'm also drunk.
Yeah.
When Jazz was like, "Do not let Jamila go on her phone," I was like, and said what had happened. and just was kind of like I think someone had posted something on Facebook or just something that was like, don't let her, like she can't find out right now. Like the way we took phone, we were like, oh, we're all going to put our phones in a purse and we're not on our phones for the rest of the night. And I was honestly surprised it worked. But I think it's because we were already so drunk.
I was like, I want to text a boy.
No,
I'm
this
drunk.
the way he was like, can I text this boy back? And I was watching her soul. I was like trying to make sure. I was like, oh my God, because I'm going to have to hit her phone because I was already knowing. So, oh my God, if she learns this information in the club, this is going to be insane. And mind you, you know, the Ubers to the club, it take a lot. That was just not information we could get at that moment. So definitely understand that, girl.
Well, this has been such a great, lovely additional episode of Unhinged and Immoral.
Thank you for tuning in.
And Jamila. Thank you guys so much. We love you. Happy New Year.
Mandem.
Let's get into the mess. We are going to be planning our live show, so please stay tuned. Be on our necks. Be on our ass.
Can you guys hear my stomach?
We need to... No.
Oh, okay. I just feel like in turn, like you guys are so loud. Okay, thank you, Melisa.
Oh, shit. You did?
Melisa said she heard it.
I can't wait to go back and listen to that damn thing. Because goddamn, I'm hungry
so
ass
hungry.
bitch. Anyways, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in every week. We'll see y'all next time. Subscribe to the Patreon.
Yes, links in our bio.
Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Unhinged and Immoral is hosted by Jamila Bell and Mecca.
Produced by Melisa D. Monts and Diamond MPrint Productions.
Post-production by Coco, Llorens.
Production assistant by Melanie D. Watson.
Music by Audie and Brooklyn Billionaires.
And graphics by Claudia, Choi.